Hello students, I hope everyone is in good health. Today I am going to start a new lesson, lesson 4, that is ecosystem. Before I start this lesson, students, you must have got the 2 videos which I have given, 2-3 videos I have given to you related to this, about the ecosystem and its different types as well as the components of ecosystem. I hope you have gone through them and they will help you out. And if you have any types of doubts related to this, you can write to me in the comment box. So let us start this. Ecosystem. Ecosystem means simple meaning. In the Greek it has been told that the simple meaning of ecosystem is dwelling place. Dwelling place means place to live in. So it is a place which we can call house for living organism. Now it is a self-contained area. It is a self-contained area composed of different organisms. You know, in our environment different types of organisms are there. Some are small, some are big, some are water animals, some are desert animals, some are live on the trees. So different types of animals you will find. So it is a self-contained area composed of different organisms living in it, interacting with each other as well as with the physical condition or environment. That means the different types of animals live in the environment. They interact with each other also and interact with the physical environment of our universe also. So let us see what are the physical environment I am talking about. So physical interaction, now your first question it will come that what is interacting? Interaction means on what basis they will interact, how they are connected to each other. Fishes, then frogs, then elephant, then ant, then all these are how they are interconnected to each other. Then plants are also living things. Human being, they are also living. So how they are interconnected to each other? They are interconnected to each other is mainly for food, for in want of food. Some are preparing food, some are giving food, and some are taking the food directly, some are taking the animals which are taking the food. That only we are going to learn in this lesson. So let us see what are the physical conditions or environment involved there, which will also help us for the living organism to live in that particular area. That is the sunlight, air, water, soil and climatic condition of that particular area which we will talk. Okay, so it depends upon these all factors of our environment. So let us see, in this chapter we will talk about you must have come across our different types of mountains, different types of river, ponds, lakes, different types of forest. All these are parts of what? Parts of our environment only, and we are linked to them, direct or indirect. So this is what ecosystem deals about. Now in this chapter we are going to deal with the forest ecosystem. From the name also it is clear. Forest ecosystem means large area will be there, large area of land which will be covered by dense forest, dense trees, bushes, then and all bushes also, and in this and growth of trees, large varieties of bushes, herbs, shrubs and all these things will be available over there. So what the forest system deals about? The general chain, it also deals with the general food chain which we have known in the lower classes. The general chain of relationship, the relationship of the organism will be the general. How they are general? Are the food producers and the food consumers. What will be the connection between them? The connection will be between the food producers, which we know that the plants are the very good food producers, and the food consumers. Rest all the living organisms are consumers. They will consume. Okay. And in this way what they are? They are depending on each other. So in this way we will talk here about this. So let us now see about how the plants. Let us see about the plants. Why they are known as food producer? Plants are known as food producer because what? plants are autotrophic in nature. You know very well, plants can prepare their own food since they are green in color. So they can prepare their own food. And these plants have different varieties of branches, fruits, flowers, stem, roots. All these things are also available in the plants. They are the parts of the plants, and these are all being eaten directly by the consumers that are known as primary consumer, and the primary consumer which will be taken by the animals of the primary consumers, which are eaten by the next animals that are the secondary consumer, and those animals whose when they will die and their flesh will be eaten away, and they will be the tertiary consumer. In this way we will learn today. So first we will see about why the plants are known as producer, because they are autotrophic in nature, and rest of the consumers are all heterotrophic in nature. So this is all about. So let us take one example of this. Suppose I am taking one example, grass. So grass is being in your book also, it has been given. So grass we have taken. So grass is a producer, plant producer. So grass is being eaten by grasshopper. Now when grass directly, they are the primary consumer directly eating the grass. Grass is the parts of the plant, or itself is the plant. So and that's why grasshopper are known as primary consumer. What about and this grasshopper are again eaten by the frog. So this frog are becoming the secondary, because they are eating that primary consumer, and in this way they are also connecting the chain. Now coming to this frog can be again eaten by the snake. Now snake also comes in the category of this chain, that is they are coming under the category of tertiary consumer. Now sometimes you will see that this snake are being eaten by the peacock also. So peacock also come in the chain, but it is being eaten, that means tertiary consumer are also being eaten by others. So this type of food level are known as what? This type of food level, another food level we gathered from here, that is the trophic levels. And meaning what? Containing steps in a food chain. That means it also comes under the category of this. Now coming to when this snakes and all peacock, when they will die, their flesh will be eaten by the scavenger. Then scavenger will come under all the tertiary consumer. No, tertiary scavengers will come under the next under this. Then and when this scavenger, that is the putrefying flesh eaters, they are, and they are the scavengers, and when everything will be not eaten by them, then the remaining will be decomposed by the microbes, that is microorganism, and in this way they will again come back to the soil as a term of, or is in the form of nutrients, and in this way soil again gets the nutrients back, because it also, any living body is full of nutrients, that is all the minerals are present in them. They also organic compounds are there. Our living body all are made up of organic compounds. In this way they will also go to they go to the soil. Now in this way soil becomes rich in nutrients, all nitrogen and products, phosphorus products. Now what happened? In this way and from the roots of the soils roots of the plants are being connected to the soil, and now what happened? This soil is being providing the nutrients to the plant. So can you see this full chain occurs? Okay, this full chain gauntlet occurs. Now what is this chain we are talking about? Let us see now. In the forest ecosystem, we are seeing that how this chain follows. The chain follows in a way. First is the producer. As I have told you already, the producers are the green plants, because they are autotrophic in nature. So they can prepare their own foods. They are the producers. Now these producers are being eaten by the herbivores that are considered to be primary consumers. Now these herbivores are being eaten by the flesh eaters, that are the carnivores. Any animals you can name, lion, tiger, bears and all. And for the herbivores you can take deer, rabbit and all. And any green plants you can take. Plants are many types of plants. You can take any plants for the producers. Now these flesh eaters, when they eat, the remaining of the flesh which is remained behind are being which likely to be get decomposed are being eaten by the tertiary consumer. That's why they are also known as secondary carnivores. Secondary why? Because the carnivores eats the main flesh, the remainings are being eaten by the secondary consumer. So in this way the chain follows like the other ecosystem chain. The forest ecosystem also goes like this. The next topic we will discuss now, the components of ecosystem. Now in the components of ecosystem, we can see that it has been broadly categorized into two broad categories. What are they? That is biotic and abiotic. What is biotic? Biotic means living organism. It deals with the living organism. And we know that plants and animals are the living organisms in our environment. So biotic deals with the plants and animals. Okay. So all insects, all animals, water animals, everything comes under this. Okay. Now we are coming to the abiotic, that deals with the non-living part. That means which are the components come under this? All the natural things, that is air, water, sunlight and the temperature that gives us warmth. That all things are coming under these are all non-living things, but they are the parts of our environment. So they are coming under the abiotic. So today we will learn about the biotic. Now let us discuss about the biotic. The components of this ecosystem consist of the following sequence of trophic, or trophic is also known as food. So trophic levels. So what this biotic ecosystem is dealing with the living organism. So how they have been parted, let us see. How the food levels have been divided into different categories. There are the four main levels are there. Let us see one by one. First level is the trophic level 1. Trophic level 1 is that is the green plants, and green plants means they are the self producer. That means they can produce the self food producer. That means they can prepare their own food. That means they are coming under the category of autotrophs. So they are the only producers. And now the rest, the second and the third and the fourth level are all consumers. So they are all coming under the category of heterotrophs. So let us see the first level. First level is the green plants. They can prepare their own food and they can grow, and also with the help of prepare their own food with the help of photosynthesis process. And in this way they are also known as self food producer. Now we are coming to the second level, trophic level 2, that is plant eating animals. That means they are also known as herbivores. These herbivores are the direct plant eaters. They can eat the plant like rabbit, goat, cows. These animals can eat the plant directly. That means they depends upon the plant direct. That's why they have been given the name trophic level 2, or we also know their other name, that is the primary consumer. Now we are coming to the third level, trophic level 3. Trophic level 3 deals with the animals which will feed on those herbivores. That means the animals which will feed on the primary consumers. So they are also coming under the chain because they need the animals which need the green plants. They eat the plants. Now these animals are being eaten by these animals. So they are also known as what? Carnivores. And these animals are also known as flesh eating animals. Now they eat the flesh of those animals and kill the animals like this, and whatever the remaining flesh is remains there, that has been eaten by the trophic level 4 animals. That means the second rank flesh eaters. They are also known as scavenger. That means eagle, vulture, crows, insects, all these things are coming under this category. Now these are the main 4 levels. Now what happens to the dead remaining when they die and all this thing? What happened to them when this remainings of the flesh and all this thing, and when these animals die, when the plant's body die, then what happens? Where it goes? They are all get decomposed. And who helps in this decomposition? Decomposers. who are decomposers, they helps in breaking down the organic matters, because you know that all living organisms are made up of organic matters. So they are being decomposed by them. Normally, who are the decomposed? The decomposers are there, that are the bacteria and fungi, all the microbes you can say. So these germs, these microbes, microorganisms helps in decomposition of the complex form of organic compounds and breaks them to simple form, and finally change them into nutrients. And these nutrients containing rich in nitrogen and other organic compounds, they are very good source of fertilizers, and they are being kept inside the soil. And you know that roots of the plants are connected to the soil. So in this way, the roots of the plants, at the time of absorbing water and minerals, they absorb this nutrients. In this way, the full chain continues like this. Now this is what about I have talked about today, that is the biotic. That means everything deals with the living things. Okay, now the next we will talk about the abiotic. That means they are also helping in the, because you know that in the photosynthesis process sunlight is required, yes or no? So in all these animals and all this thing, for living them properly, oxygen is required. So all these things are needed for the survival and the environment which is being provided to us. That all are coming under the abiotic. So let us see now. Let us discuss about the next category, that is abiotic. Abiotic, as I have already told, it is dealing with the non-living components. Now, which are the non-living components in our environment? Come across it with the living organism. These are the 5 major factors which come under the category of abiotic. They are very, very important, and they are interlinked with the living organism. Without, they are all interdependent to each other. That is only ecosystem deals about. Let us see how sunlight, air, water, temperature and soil, these are the 5 major important abiotic components. First is the sunlight. In the sunlight, you know very well that the green plants, which are the auto food producers, they need this food production cannot be done without the help of the sunlight. So sunlight plays a very important role in the life of plants, green plants. So they need the sunlight for the preparation of their food in the process of photosynthesis. Now we are coming to the next, air. We know very well all living organisms need air, because oxygen is present in the air, which is very, very important for our life. So next is that air helps the all insects, birds to fly high. So dispersal of seed for pollination in the pollination process is also very, very important in the where air plays an important role. So like this, air plays an important part in the abiotic components. Now coming to the water. You know water comes as a source, the main source of water is the rainfall. When rainfall comes, it is being absorbed in the soil and this soil water is being used up by the plants through the roots for their survival. Now the surface water is also there, which are those water are being drunk by the animals and all, and in this way we human beings are also getting the surface water being cleaned up properly and being used up in our houses also. Now coming to the temperature, because you know many of the living organisms can survive in a hot temperature, many in the cold temperature, many in the mild temperature. Mild temperature means normal temperature. So hot, mild, cold, all temperatures are available in the category of temperature. Now for why it is needed? For the proper functioning of the living organism. So the next factor is the soil. How the soil factor is helping? It is very important factor, and you know that soil contains water and minerals in them. And how these minerals are being achieved in the soil? They are being achieved, you know that the decomposers, how the 4 levels of the trophic levels of the food levels are being, when they die or dead, decomposers down by the decomposers, and you know that decomposers are all available in the soil also. So they help down to change them into their respective nutrients, and these nutrients are, because we all living organisms are all organic compounds, so organic compounds can be easily decomposed, and when they decompose down into the manures, and these manures are very good for the soil also, and in this way they help the plant to grow in a very better way. So in this way, and other than this also, soil differ from place to place. What is mean by this? We find soil in the mountains also, in the lakes also, rivers also, ponds also, in the wells also. You will see in the ocean also, in the underground you will see that the soil is there. But are they all same like the simple land soil? No, they differ from place to place. So in this way we come to an end of the abiotic components also. So students, please learn all the points which I have discussed today about the ecosystem, general types, the general components, and with an examples. And in the next session we will talk about the food chain and food webs. Okay students, so I hope you are all learning well. All the question answers of the previous chapters I have given in the form of PDF. Please go through them, learn them nicely. And that's all for today. Have a good day. Thank you.